Is ADHD just an excuse for lazy people? That is a question that still a significant amount of people ask, and in this video I hope to provide you with 3 situations in which this question can be answered. And beyond answering this question, I hope for those of you who are suffering from ADHD-like symptoms to provide you with answers on how can you actually tell if it is ADHD? How can you tell if you're just being lazy or possibly suffering from an actual disruption in your mind? Let's jump into it. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel on ADHD, mental health, self-development and other related topics. And today we have the question. The question if ADHD can possibly be just an excuse for lazy people, or just some mishmash of different other diagnoses that may just be misunderstood as something that stands on its own. Well, I want to present you with 3 situations. The first one being where ADHD can actually be an excuse, either by the kid or adult themselves or by the parents. In the second situation, I want to look at the less clear cases, where the sufferer himself or herself can actually think about it honestly, but still not be able to tell if it can or cannot be ADHD. And even after seeking a diagnosis, it may still sound a little bit murky. And in the third example, I want to explore the final option, that it is actually ADHD and how you can tell. Number 1, ADHD actually being an excuse. This can often happen with children, presumably. The science and the data is just unclear at this point. Some people think that ADHD is overdiagnosed, especially in the US and in other parts of the Western world. Some people think that we just don't know how diagnosed, overdiagnosed or underdiagnosed it is because we haven't collected enough data in the past to be able to tell what percentage of ADHD actually should occur in the population. What is clear, however, is that we may expect some people to be overzealous. So let's imagine a situation, right? You have an adult at home that is enough years old to be able to just take on their direction in life, and instead they really intentionally want to stay dependent. They want to focus on something like gaming, for example. Okay, this is maybe not the most realistic example. Just wait a second, please. Okay, that's still too glamorous, but at least it's passable. So gaming, if you have someone, or you are this someone, and you really go through your mind with thinking, oh, well, I still have enough time. I still have enough time to deal with my career, to deal with what I actually want to do in life. Right now, I'm happy where I am. I'm happy when I'm playing games. I want to just hang out with friends. I'm okay with my parents just giving me money so that I can live there. Maybe I'm making enough money to support myself when I live here. Or maybe I even have my own place, but you know, I just don't really have much of an achievement in mind, a specific thing that I want to strive for. And I'm okay with that. Not everyone has to be always completely focused on a task. Not everyone has to want a specific goal in life. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't recommend it. It's actually a very good idea. But be careful about what is going in your mind when you are deciding if you really need a diagnosis or not. Because if you know that these thoughts are voluntarily going through your mind, that you are doing what you are doing because that's what you want, it's probably not going to be ADHD. The same example would be with a very small child, right? It's a very small child. I'm not going to talk to a very small child about how to self-diagnose. So I'm going to talk to the parent, right? And the parent may be overzealous. It doesn't even have to be gaming. It can be anything like really being into music and wanting to become a musician. It is not always clear if it is ADHD or if the kid is just motivated because he really enjoys what he's doing, and maybe some other things in his life, like school grades, are suffering from it. And this is all fine. The parent can go get a diagnosis, the adult can go and get a diagnosis, and if they provide objective information, that's great. But what happens is that some people are overzealous because they may be, one, thinking that this level of creativity is not really normal, and B, wanting to get their child to do something that they planned for them. That's not an ideal combination, but it definitely happens because human population is distributed normally with a Gaussian curve. And the Gaussian distribution has two extremes where there will be less individuals from the population, but there will always be some, as long as we have enough individuals within the population. And since we do have enough individuals in the human population, we can be quite sure that we will be observing something like this. A small percentage of the total will be overzealous and really want to push the psychiatrist to give the child Adderall, to give the child Ritalin. They will want them to focus more on the, let's say, ordinary things, to pursue an academic career and to just ditch the video games and ditch the music and ditch the crazy dreams. And even if they are not that overzealous, you can still get a slightly overzealous psychiatrist or just an overworked one that doesn't want or doesn't have the ability and capacity to provide your child with the full diagnostic process. And then the percentage can increase significantly. So with this high amount, of course this is just, random, like 1 sigma and 2 sigma for a random distribution in the Gaussian system, but it's just for the idea that there will always be people that are overzealous, and they will seek the diagnosis just no matter what, even when some of the symptoms are possibly not there. And there you have it. There are examples where ADHD is either a complete misdiagnosis because the parents are just pushing for it a little bit too much, or the person, the adult or the child even, can willingly want to be diagnosed so that they can focus on what they want to do. And this being constantly bothered by your family because you just want to do something that they don't want you to do may be a really strong motivation. There is no point in telling ourselves that, yeah, there may be some cases where ADHD actually is an excuse. But tomorrow we will get to number 2, and that is where the things start to be less clear and where it will be very, very important for the person themselves to understand what the difference is between ADHD and actual laziness is. So I hope you enjoyed the first part of this series, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.